Hi, this is Stephanie from Vegan Mainstream, and today I want to talk to you about blogs. Now, we're not going to talk about how to create a blog, how to start a blog, and so forth. I really want to talk about why blogging is so important to the vegan and really go veg movement. The great thing about blogs is you're able to actually broadcast. It's like having your own newspaper or really your own radio station. The idea is that you're able to come up with a concept, a theme that you'd like to write about, whether it's your journeys, whether it's your cooking, whether it's your transformation from being a non-veg over to being a veg. And you're able to document that story and allow others to either learn from it, experience it through your writings, or be able to add their own comments and be able to kind of create almost a community type of discussion about what your experiences are and how they read them and how they affected their lives. It's the same thing that used to be done in newspapers and other media formats, but now the great thing about blogs is that the individual has that same power. The individual can have that same impact that the New York Times or Wall Street Journal can have. Now, one thing I also want to talk about is while it's great to create your own blog, and I think we all get our urge to say, oh, I need a blog. And I mean, we have one at Vegan Mainstream as well. But one thing I would recommend and urge is write for someone else's blog, especially before you launch your own blog. Launching a blog is a lot of responsibility because you really have readers out there. The goal is to spread your word and spread your message, and your readers will really rely on you to post on certain types of frequency, maybe even post about certain topics and so forth. So before you're able to maybe make the commitment that blogging requires, you might be just a guest writer. You may find your favorite blog that you'd like to submit a post once a week, which may not be a big strain based on your current obligations. The other thing about being a guest blog is you're contributing to the community that already exists. You're helping them, you're supporting them, you're providing them content. Because the biggest thing about blogs is everybody needs content. So why not support the blog that you normally read every day? Why not support your friend who started a blog that talked about her vegetarian travels? It's just a great way to help others and help others spread the word, spread the same message, and spread the same passion you have, especially when we're talking about vegan vegetarianism. The other thing I want to talk about is how do you come up with topics for your blog, especially if you're going to be a guest writer. I would say there's probably two main ways that people come up with topics. Number one, it just hits them. They wake up one day, they walk down the street, something catches their eye, and they just kind of have a creative burst, and that makes a person write. A lot of people write that way, but if you're not a traditional writer, you might find that there's maybe a couple other ways that you can be inspired. One big way is read articles that people have published on whatever topic. If it is vegan and vegetarianism, great. If it's because you love gadgets and, IT, then read an article about that. And then what it gives you an opportunity to do is, as a blogger, is you can write commentary. Almost like the opinion pages in the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, you're doing that same approach. You're actually taking your perspective or providing your opinion based on something that was produced by another person. People love these types of articles because what happens is you're able to take a stance. A person understands where you stand and what you're interested in. It also sets you up to almost have your own, I guess you could say, like a Dear Abby type of column that you've traditionally seen in other newspapers, that you can have your same kind of column on someone else's blog. So once again, another great way to support the community, another great way to get your writing out there, as well as contribute while you balance your other responsibilities. And then the last thing I would say, to really get you in the mood or before you're actually maybe ready to launch your own blog, is start a journal. A journal is a great way to start documenting what's happening to you in life. It's a great way, especially for people who are natural writers, to get into the habit of taking what they see, hear, and experience and translating that into words that can sit on paper that someone can come back to and read over and over. Besides, personally, it's just pretty cool when you get to read a year ago and look at your own perspective, but it's also a great tool and document to teach you to write on a certain frequency, as well as it allows you to do some retrospective and it may be some great sources for content down the line. So when you're thinking about starting your own blog, first think about how you can contribute, then start some of the processes like journaling, so that you're prepared that when it's time to launch your blog, you have content, you have exposure, you have experience, and when you actually launch your blog, you'll be very, very successful. Thank you.